Hello, and welcome to Wheelock College for today's segment of Inquiry in Action. I'm your host, Dr. Chuck Fidler, and today we will be exploring observations and properties of liquids. After completing this lesson, you should be able to explore and describe water and other liquids, record and reflect observations in your science notebooks, and make claims about liquid using evidence based on your experiences. Exploring liquids is very important for any number of reasons. Water is something which most children have had many experiences, and thus its properties, many of which are visible, can often be explored easily. By comparing water to other easily accessible liquids, such as vegetable oil or corn syrup, we can begin to see patterns that help us identify what makes a liquid, as well as some differences among liquids. Each of you will come to these three explorations with varying amounts of experience and knowledge about the properties of liquids. Most important is your willingness to observe and describe what you see. You don't need to understand or explain anything at this point. Your science notebooks will help you keep track of your observations and also record reflections, make claims, indicate surprises, and write down any questions that may arise from your investigations. The materials you'll need for these investigations are easy. 1/2 cup of water, 1/2 cup of vegetable oil, and 1/2 cup of corn syrup, and if possible, in clear containers. You'll also need an eyedropper or a straw for each liquid. You'll need a piece of wax paper and 3 surfaces such as a plate, aluminum foil, or newspaper. You'll need some food coloring and a hand lens. In addition, you'll need an extra clear container for mixing small amounts of liquid and a spoon. And of course, your science notebooks. Now that we know what we're going to do, let's go have some fun in the lab. That's a pretty cool liquid. Hi again. Let's get started with our inquiry-based experiment. Remember to allow yourself to be curious, ask plenty of questions, and enjoy being a learner. To begin, you're just going to simply take 3 beakers and fill them up with the 3 liquids: water, corn syrup, and vegetable oil. While swirling each container, what do you notice? Record in your science notebook how these liquids behave when shaken gently. Next, pour each of the liquids from one container to another. As you do, observe each liquid carefully. How easily is each liquid pouring? How does it move in relation to the other liquids? How would you describe each liquid's flow? Record your responses in your science notebook. Based on these initial observations of liquids, write any reflections you may have in your science notebook. A reflection in this case is anything you can now say about liquids based on your brief experiences. You may have questions, or you may have noticed something surprising, or may even be thinking differently about liquids after these careful observations. For this experiment, we will be observing drops of liquid. Try to keep the liquids separate during this exploration. One at a time, place several drops of each liquid on the wax paper, aluminum foil, and your plate. Look at it carefully from the side and from above. Use the hand lens to help you take a closer look and describe the drops in your science notebook. Let's explore the drops. What can you say about these liquids based on your observations? What about the relationship between the liquids and the different types of surfaces? Has anything surprised you? What questions do you have? Next, you can observe what happens when you put the liquids together. Focus on whether one liquid floats on the other, and what happens when you stir the liquids. To help you tell the liquids apart, add a very small amount of food coloring to the water. Does one liquid always stay at the surface? What happens when you stir these liquids together? Record your thoughts in your science notebook. Feel free to try any combination you like and simply explore. I have a challenge for you. Do you think you can put the 3 liquids together so they will make 3 different layers? Try this at home, but for now, let's head back to Inquiry Central. I hope you had fun conducting these investigations and learned a bit about the properties of liquids. That's all the time we have for today. This is Dr. Chuck Fidler for Inquiry in Action. We'll see you next time.